Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with a very good friend of the channel and friend of mine, Todd Baldwin. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome, man. One thing I knew I wanted to talk to you about, of all my experts that I bring on repeatedly, this is your topic. And that is, frankly, the importance and the ease today of creating side hustles, right? So both of you and I worked our tail off and had day jobs, high stress, commissions, threat of being fired all the time. And yet we were able to develop side hustles. And man, since I've been out of work, I've created more side hustles than I thought was even possible. So I just want people to realize, if you have a hobby, a passion, something that really, really excites you, you can turn that into extra streams of income. And I thought Todd would be a great guy to talk about it. What do you think?
Yeah, first of all, I agree with you 100%. I love side hustles. And I also agree that it's really easy. Like, I know a lot of people are like, I don't know, man, like they're so negative and they think like the world sucks and life is hard. And like, I'm not going to say like life isn't hard, but dude, like for entrepreneurs and starting a business and a side hustle, it's so easy. It's literally never been easier. And the barrier to entry is so small. It doesn't have to be real estate. It
Oh,
was for you and it is for me, but it
yeah,
can be anything.
it could be anything. Yeah, I'm trying to get people. I have a particular, because again, so I retire at 45. I have no, I mean, I can do whatever I want the rest of my life if I don't do something stupid. Great place to be. I busted my ass to get here.
Mhm.
However, since I've been out, I've written 2 books. I've taken a YouTube channel from 0 to 23,000. I created a podcast, which, oh, by the way, I spent $1,000 a month posting on, and suddenly is blowing up. Now makes more. What else? Oh, a course, right? Teachable, basically just documenting what I've done, nothing fancy. All of these things produce thousands of dollars. And dude, I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. Right? I just, again, where I bring that up is if your hobby is old cars, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are the 2 things I pick on, you can make an extra 500 or 600 bucks a month. If you love Cabbage Patch Kids or get old toys or bubble gum, I don't care what it is. If you truly love it, you can create money from it. Put it out there. Don't worry about it. If it's your passion, it'll come through. All you have to do is find a tribe of 1,000 people, 1,000 people, and you can have a great side hustle. Hundreds of dollars. Stop thinking you're Graham Stephan. Stop thinking you're Meet Kevin. You don't need millions. 1,000 changes it. And I just want people to hear that.
Yeah, certainly. And if you're camera shy or you don't love the idea of content creation, there are other, like you can have an Etsy store where you sell your
Yeah.
crafts, or like I know Gary Vee's big on this and I used to do it too, is like go to Goodwill and buy stuff for cheap and then flip it online on
Yeah. Flip
Amazon.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in college, I bought a pool table with all the cues and the balls and the chalk and everything. I bought it for 300 bucks and I had it in my apartment for 9 months. I played with it every day. At the end of the 9 months, I sold it back on Craigslist for 475 bucks. So like I had this awesome toy that I played with and then I made a profit when I sold it. So yeah, it's super easy. And I don't know, there's just a lot of people saying like, oh, I can't do it. Little man can't get ahead.
Huh.
Billionaires are in space, like all these things.
No,
And it's
it
like,
has never been easier. I got to tell you, right? Because when I was your age, I didn't have any real estate. If you were going to try to start a business and the internet wasn't around yet, you had to like go to the newspaper and like basically when I was your age, winners and losers were picked based on who you knew.
mhm.
I entered a space where I knew no one, didn't care, don't even edit videos, nothing fancy, no walk-up music, didn't have professional thumbnails for years. And it's thousands of dollars and I'm not even trying. No advertising, no nothing. It's never been easier. I want you to know, from me to you, if you have a hobby that you truly love, and that is the key, because the first 6, 9, 12 months are not going to be a lot of traction. But if you love it, it shouldn't matter. It just shouldn't matter. If you love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, talk about peanut butter and jelly. And it could be anything. All you need is 1,000 people, and it'll be amazing what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you think you like something that's sort of weird, there's at least 1,000 other people who like that weird thing.
Dude, no kid. I mean, yeah, it could be, I don't just anything. Again, if it really, here's the key. And I listen to Gary Vee when I go on my runs lately. Don't do something to make money. That is a cardinal mistake. it has to be a side hustle you love. Because again, the first 6 or 9 months, it could be a heavy lift. It's nobody's going to watch you. Nobody's going to do your thing. But at some point, the first 400 are hard. The next 600, a little bit easier. But once you're at 1,000, you've got your tribe. You've made it. Invest a year, invest 18 months. Everybody watching this can make, what would an extra $500 mean to most people? It would probably change most of their lives. Just talk about what you love.
Especially, I mean, like, and we can talk about this, but if you're, let's say, gosh, if you're 25 right now and you start making $500 a month, if you just decided to just put all of that into a Roth IRA, by the time you're 65, you'll have like $1.7 million
exactly
free money.
Yeah. Again, this is not the time to think the world is coming to an end in a depression. This is the time of being an entrepreneur and side hustles. And oh, by the way, if you create a side hustle and an LLC, a lot of stuff you're paying for today, instead of after tax, it comes before tax, like cell phone, internet, things like that. Talk about, I mean, those are huge. That's why the rich are rich. They pay stuff before taxes, not after taxes. Crazy. Totally. Yeah. So again, as we wrap this up, Todd, I know you're big on side hustles. What words of encouragement would you have for that 25-year-old or 55-year-old that has a passion, has a hobby that they've done for years? What would you want to tell them?
I think there's several ways to monetize a passion. It can be like, if you like watercolor painting, you can teach a course about watercolor painting. There's just so many things. Like when I first started, my first side hustle in the traditional sense was a secret shopper.
Yeah.
And all that is I like going out to restaurants, but I wanted to like not spend all my money. So I found a way to get paid to go to restaurants and take my girlfriend out on dates. And like, that was super fun. I was making about $6,000 a year and getting free food. Now, $6,000 a year isn't going to make anyone rich by itself, but if you take that and invest it, whether it's real estate or stocks or, you know, what have you, or if all you want to do is just get free food and then ball out with your $6,000, that's fine too.
Go for it. Yeah. Yeah. So again, folks, this is, I want you to be excited. I want you to think that it's right there for you. It's going to take time. I want you to know it'll take a year. I don't want you to, I think too many people think you've got to be Graham Stephan with 3.2 million followers. No, 1,000. 1,000 is the number.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be on YouTube. It could be Etsy. It could be anything. But again, if you have a passion, a love, a desire that you have experience with, I promise you there's another 1,000 people out there that do too. So Todd, how can people find you? Because you're putting out amazing content as well.
Thank you. I'm on Instagram at Todd J. Baldwin. I'm also on YouTube. It's just my name, Todd Baldwin. And actually to Michael's point, so I think maybe a month ago, I passed 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm already at 11,200 as of this morning. So like, where it might take you a year to get to your first 1,000, it took me a month, you know, to get 1,000 more basically after 10. So it really does have that snowball effect.
Yeah. Follow him. He's a great follow. And I follow him because he just shows me how I should have gotten started earlier. So thank you for the daily reminder that I got started too old.
My pleasure.
Thanks, buddy.